to the workshop, tools in the light. Screws and glue, they're holding it tight. Piece by piece, it's a builder's delight. Making dreams in the still of the night. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you. In the heart of creation, models take form. One more piece and they'll weather the storm. Engines roar or a ship in its prime. Building bonds stronger than time. Your hands are steady, your vision is clear. Dreams in plastic, they're finally here. Every piece has its very own song. In this workshop where we all belong. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you. Hours fly by as the pieces align. Apart work, beauty and design so fine. You're the maker, turning vision to truth. Building wonders for dreams of your youth. Hours fly by as the pieces align. Apart work, beauty and design so fine. You're the maker, turning vision to truth. Building wonders for dreams of your youth.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Tinker and Talk Tuesday. Now, I've just spent the last probably half an hour fixing what I got wrong last time. So I can only assume that it'll be a bit more of a positive stream tonight, or is it going to be a car crash? We shall see. But hopefully, starting from a point where everything's in the right order and in the right place, might have some positive positive vibes for this one tonight. So yeah, let's get into it and take over the workshops and let's get building. Right, let's just get rid of that one. So this is where I got to last time. I say got to. This was the wrong way around. The little tab on the bottom of this was the wrong way around. I'd put this engine in back to front. But I think it's now all working. Because if I wind this up, it holds itself, it locks. You can't unlock this without this being in the start position. And then you can unlock it and you can see it's spun and seems to work. So that was that bit I fixed. This bit, I put this the wrong way around, so it's on the wrong way. It was coming out this side rather than where it's meant to be. And I've actually now managed to loosen up this little switching mechanism as well, which didn't seem to work at all last time. So, with any luck, it'll all go well. And it won't end up on the bonfire. So, got to this point last time. As you can see, I've pulled out the bits for this particular page, and then we'll continue from here. And if you see me holding it the wrong way around or putting things in the wrong side, please do shout. I'm going to start off with these two holes here, and we've got these parts going in like this. Right, so with those in there, we now have these parts, and I've actually put them in the correct order in theory. So we have 54, 53, 38 goes in there, and then we sandwich all those together using 52. So it's probably easier to get that one pushed onto there first, then that one on there, and then we'll put the gear on the end. Just push that all together. Right, so that's in there and that spins. Could probably go in a little bit further. Let's have a look. There we go. Heard that click in then. And already I've realised I've missed out grabbing these two cogs, which are here. I think that's the last pieces from that sprue. I got this piece here, 22. So with these two cogs, they're going to go onto these points here. And then that's going to engage with that cog there. And simply go on like so. Metal lathe would be a brilliant purchase, I reckon, Bergdis. I'm sure there's ways to go around it. Christmas present, birthday presents, yeah. Just keep asking for people for money. And it's an essential bit of kit, I'm sure. Right, so with that done, we now have a similar thing to do with this one. That's going to go into there. What did you use for fuel then, if you didn't have any wooden ships laying around? I think Wayne has got himself quite a reputation just by burning, how many, 2 is it that he's burnt? That's not going in there. Let's try a bit of wax. Right, so we've got that like so. And then this one is going into the hole just there. I'm assuming that these aren't meant to engage with those ones, because they're currently not. And then we've got to sandwich all that together with this. And that is symmetrical. And it looks like it just goes on like that. There's nothing holding this top part away from that first part. We then have this large gear. That's going to go onto there. That spins fine. And then that's going to be held on by that piece there. Yeah, I thought it was 2. I couldn't remember if we'd burnt any more. Yeah. But I'd say he's got a bit of a reputation. And obviously now he's building the one from Agora Models. Can't think of the name of that ship. But he has promised not to be burning that one. Right, so that's that piece done. Looks like I've got a little sub-assembly to do here. So we need nothing from this part. So I'm going to put that to one side. We've only seem to have 22 on that one. Looks to be this one. So they are marked. So number 2, for instance, there. It's got a number 2 in the top corner. So makes it nice and easy. I'm going to need that piece. Try and get it the same way around as the picture. And then hopefully won't go wrong. We need number 38, which is that one in the middle. Yeah, 60, which is that one up there. 61, which is that big cog in the middle. And then we need number 50. Which is there. So making sure I get this the correct way around, which is going to go like so. And then we've got the cog. And then we have this piece. So I'm assuming that means caution and make sure that pokes out the end, which it does. So presumably that is that gear that's going in there. And then on the other side, we need gear 63, which is this one. I think so far, so good with this. Right, so that's in there. And then we need 3 lots of 64, which are just here. 3 of those. And then we need this piece. And they are going to go into these 3 holes here. So let's just put a little bit of wax in there to make it easy for them to go in. And if I get them wrong, it makes them a little bit easier to get out. And they're all going the same way around. Never check, but I'm pretty sure they are symmetrical. There's a bit of an angle, we don't want that because it would impede that gear. Right, so then this one is going to go on top of that in that position. So it's capturing that gear as well. It does seem to move okay. Assume that means check it moves. Right, we're going to add that to this piece. It's going to go all this way around. And that gear is going to have to mesh with that other one. Is that why you need your lathe, Bergdus? Start building one of those trains that you showed me the other day. Do it. Definitely do it. You only come to this channel for encouragement. Whether that's the right encouragement or not, couldn't say. Right, just making sure that's all freed up, because it wasn't turning all the way around. Yeah, steam's a little bit more difficult, because if you make your own boiler and things like that, then you got to make sure it doesn't blow up and all sorts. Why is that not clearing? There we go. Right, so that all moves nicely. It says 180, but I'm guessing it doesn't matter if it spins all the way. Right, so what might say it might be to turn that around, because we're working on the other side now. We need a number 38. I've used a 38. Can I see another one? Right there. 38 and 66, which is this one. So first things first, this one goes on the end of there, and then this one goes in here. And then we need number 67, which is this one. And we need cog 68, which is this one. So that is going to go on like so. Definitely that way around. And then that's got to sit in that hole there. And then we have this cog going on the end here. Just like that. So with that in there, we now need 69, which is this large piece. Well, that sounds like you might have to just start your own club then, Bergdus. So I'm quite lucky here because there's a little miniature steam, well, steam and diesel electric, I think. Little miniature railway really close to me. Right, so that's going to go, I see, it's got to go on there and in those holes there. And it's definitely going to go that way around. Not the easiest bit to get in. Right, so that's in there, and then we can push that in like so. Excellent. Does it still look like the picture? I think so. Okay, I worked that bit out anyway. Telling me about putting those in. That's definitely in. And it says to make sure that's in, it looks like. That's definitely in and down. So it looks like we now need to join this with this. So this way around. Looks like that is potentially going to go over the top of that cog. And those two pieces need to line up there. Okay. So let's get some wax on there. And it is just going to be like that. Maybe they're telling me not to push it down all the way then? I don't know. Maybe they say don't push it down all the way until you've done this. This is why I say sometimes wording is better than... Actually, it says do not fully press down the outer parts. Words are good if you read them. There we go. It's in. That wasn't too bad, actually. So then we make sure that's pushed down and that's in there like so. So presumably that cog, I'm assuming those cogs all link together now using this drive shaft. I think so. That's the short answer. And I've just realised actually that's what that switch is for. It engages those cogs together. I'm sure of it. Very stiff. Don't know how well this will function when it's all together, but we shall see. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be drifting it around the dining room table too often. So we've got this, and it does look exactly like the picture. It's just like a never-ending list, projects. Always got something else and something new to come up. If you've seen my video earlier, you'll see what my latest idea and latest project is. Obviously, I told you last week about the Cobra models contest, and today I revealed what my plan is. Right, we need 71. We need one of those, it looks like. And we need 70. And that's one of those. And 73. Right, so with 72 this way around, 71 is going in there. Like that. And then this one goes this way around. I'm still amazed that they picked my idea, to be fair. And now I've obviously got to make it a reality. But it's certainly going to be huge. Right, so we've got that in there. We now need 74, which is this one. And this is actually a flexible part. So it's got all these cuts in there, which is making it able to flex and bend. So we'll make sure we have plenty of wax on here, because it'd be quite easy to break this piece. So that's going to go like this. Well, if you look closely, I think it was dusty paint. But effectively, I can pick any point in time. So, as I said on the video earlier, I want to try and do it so it's like part way through its rebuild. And if you look at the film, the guy was putting or raising the engine up to put it in. You wouldn't do that until it was really painted. The body shell on the dolly is basically ready for paint, and there was a seat inside the car as well, but it was all just done as prop. So I'm sort of assuming that I was meant to do 2 of those, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't say. Oh, it does say ×2. So yeah, I think it was just obviously propped there, and it was just happened to be one that Aston Martin had kicking around, sort of thing, because you can't see the roof cut out like it was ever going to be a James Bond car. And I think just the seat was chucked in as a bit of dressing, really. I don't even know whether it was a proper engine they had on the hoist. So my idea is that it's going to be done so the car is partly being rebuilt. The engine will probably still be on a hoist next to it. The guns and additional extras, or some of them, you can't see at the back of the tunnel. So my plan is potentially put some shelving at the back of the dead end tunnel. And I know it's a dead end tunnel. That much I do know, because I've seen some behind the scenes photos. So that's the idea, that there's going to be some shelves at the end of the dead end tunnel. And I can put bits on there as well, like they're about to go into the car. Potentially like the mines, possibly using the iconic number plate, and just stick that on the shelf. So got a few ideas and plans, and it's all going to be about dressing with the car. But ultimately, it's all about the diorama of the tunnel and the uprights and that sort of thing. So, right, so we've got 2 seats now, and now we need 75 and 76. So put a bit of wax on there and on there. And they're going to go this way around. But did you like my small scale example? Just happened to have a corgi version of the car kicking around that I could visualize. And I think my measurements work out quite well, looking at the scale of the car in the tunnel. Especially seeing the stills and etc. that I've been looking at. Alright, so we need to make sure these are the correct way around, which is going to be this way, with the tab on the outside. And this tab's going to go into this hole here. Don't put the wrong one in, it's this one. Well, that might have been easier to fit before the wall was put in place. But it's in. That seems a bit loose. Maybe by design for the minute. Right. And we'll put this one in. There we go, we've got our cockpit effectively. Looking good. So, with that in there, we've got that seat in there, got the tabs on the correct side. Looks like we need a side piece. And this is number 77, which is this one. Flying through the build today. Just clearly wasn't paying attention last time. We need 78, which is this one. And they're both going to come out as you'd expect. So it's going to be that one. So with it this way up, we want this way around. I do think eventually, because I've probably got nowhere to store the diorama when it's finally done, what I might do is after the show at Telford, potentially just build the car up properly, which I think would be quite good. Right, so we've got 1,000,001 tabs to line up. It's going to be all of those, it looks like. So let's get some wax on all of those tabs. It's quite funny that it's my first Agora models build, and I'm not actually building much of the car. Right, okay, that's got to go in like that. It's one of those points where you need about 4 hands to actually get this to all line up. Problem is, I think Wayne's doing all the same builds I am, and obviously a lot more. So I don't have anything unique compared to Wayne. Well, I suppose actually I've got the O-gauge engines. That's about it. Although I know he doesn't have an Agora Models E-Type anymore because that's sat on my shelf. I'm sure there would have been an easier way of doing this. Those three just don't seem to want to line up. Oh, maybe. Gonna reach for the hammer in a minute. No, I don't think that's fully in. This is just his back end that doesn't want to go all the way. Right. There we go. In. That is in. It better be the right way around now. Can't go any other way. You can only go that way. Right. What's that telling me? Oh, that's got to go in there. Yep, already done that. Sort of assumed we'd have to do the other side straight away, but we don't. Do it, Bergdust. I'm part of IPMS Plymouth, and I take my metal models there. So do it. And the modelisation that I'm part of obviously doesn't care sort of what you do model wise. It's just sort of a celebration of modelers. Right, so we need to make sure this goes the correct way around. It's not really showing me where I need to put it. Oh, at the back. So that's going to go into that slot there. Not yet, and tonight it's gone pretty well so far. So touch wood. I think everything's going well. So got that bit in there. I need to do a little bit of assembly for what looks to be the rear axle. So 2 80s, that one and that one. And we've got to make sure that the holes are poked out, it looks like. And we should have So presumably they want me to put one of those in there. Potentially just cut them in half. Looks like 50-50. Let's just grab a sharp knife if I can find one. That's about half. So that's got to go in there. Got to go all the way through that one. And then presumably we just need to cut them off flush, looks like. Doesn't really tell you how far you need to put this way through. It's not going to stop. Certainly not got them even. Let's make those even. Oh, we've got to cut off both sides. Okay, that's fine. So if that's the case, I'll just do that. Job done. So which car? This one, do you mean? Or something you're building, Fergus? Are you trying to sneak into an IPMS show? Right, so with that, like that, we now need, looks like 2 81s, sandwich the other. If you missed the beginning of the stream, Chris, I pretty much said that I'd spent the first, well, half an hour before the stream fixing all the problems that I'd made myself. But all is good now with this one. He says as he tries to put that on the wrong end. So that's got to go. Not going in a minute. Right, so that's on there. And then we can take the rest of that other cocktail stick, push that in there. Just going to use my pliers to push that in. There we are. And then we'll just cut the ends off, like so. So that in there, that's never going to move. And to ensure it doesn't move, we're going to be putting it on a couple of other parts. So we need 82 first. Right, so I'm going to make sure that is nice and flush. Almost seems like a pointless thing putting that little cocktail stick in there, considering how much we're putting on top of it. Don't know if that should go in all the way or not, or whether that cocktail stick is designed to stop it from going in all the way. Okay, looks like it should probably stop all that going in all the way, so that's fine. I think I can cope with that like that. Then we need 83. Like so. Try and make sure that is straight. And then we need an 82 and an 83 on the other side as well. There's an 82, and there's another 83. So 82 first. That's not going in there in a minute. There we go. So 82 and then 83. Right, so that's in there. Leave that to one side for a second while we get the other side piece. Why can I not? Wait, sorry, there, right in the middle. Couldn't see it. And we need this piece, and that's going to go on there like so. And then this is going to be the fun bit where we need to put the axle in here. I'll put a bit of wax on there. That's got to engage with that gear. Put some wax on there. Let's put some wax in that hole there. And we've got to basically sandwich all of this together. So plenty of wax on these tabs. Let's make sure we've got wax in that hole as well. Again, make sure that's the right way around, which is this way. And that's going to engage with that gear. Did I put that on the wrong way around? I have. That needs to go this way. Yep, should be a fun build. Still playing with ideas on construction of how to do that, but I think the majority is probably going to be foam board or something like that, to try and keep it a little bit lightweight. I did also consider using something like this, 3mm like MDF or plywood, and using the laser cutter to do a little bit of work as well. But also concerned about how heavy the thing will be. going to be something that hopefully I can deconstruct and reconstruct, because trying to transport the thing in one piece, I think it's going to be a logistic nightmare. Right, almost got that in. Right, there we go. And that does relatively move. So let's just put a bit of wax on these cogs. Got floor pans in place, like so. So that's great. Right, what time is it? 10 minutes. Let's see what we can do in 10 minutes. So number 85. Which is this one. And that's going to go into this piece here and this piece at the bottom here. Making sure that's the correct way around. It's got this little dot at the top. So, yep. Does that, and then times 2 there. And they could have just shown the instruction with 2 of them. Right, so we've got 2 of those in there. And then something about this. Checking that it works, or checking that it's in the middle. I assume checking it's in the middle, it looks like. It is. And then we've got to check that that spins, which it does. So what's next? The exhausts, looks like. So let's see if we can get the exhaust done, and then we'll call it a night. So first things first, we're going to need 86. Which is that one. You're then going to need 88 and 2 87s. Oh, have you got the new Agora models Jeep back there? Or was that the IXO one? '87, 87, and 88. So with that way around, you make sure these go this way around. And then this one is going to go somewhere along there. To find out exactly where we need to put it, we need number 89. And that's going to go this way around. That's going to sit in there. line that center one up. And get that one in there. The XO one. I almost bought the Super Impreza from Mike when he was having his Easter deals, which I think is still going on, to be fair. But got enough going on at the moment. So then we need that one, and we need 91. Not that one, this one. 91 goes on top of there. And 90 goes on top of there. I've seen someone else building it, and it does look good. But I'm sure, unlike a part work where obviously it could disappear overnight, I'm fairly sure it would be around for a while. So there's no real sense of urgency to go get it. 92. And the good thing is, if I really wanted it that quickly, I could just turn up at Mike's workshop. I'm sure he's got a couple in stock. Right, looks like it's not going to be that one. Looks like we need sprue 5, possibly. Yes, that's one. And we just need 12 of them. Really? Is 12 going to fit there? One. Of course, you knew that was going to happen. The wheel would come out. I think that's just waste, to be fair, that middle bit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It still seems too many, but we shall see. I think Mark's getting that from Mark's Mods. I know I'm safe to say that because I think he's also live streaming at the minute, so he won't be watching this. Hey, GB Models, welcome to the stream. Hope the weather in Australia is better than what it is here at the minute. It's actually chucking it down. I'm going to get soaked going back to the house. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 going in there. Yep. It will go in there. 6. That's good. I know you've had some storms not that long ago. My brother-in-law lives over Australia, somewhere near Melbourne, I think he is. I know he had a few floods and things. Right, that's that part of the exhaust done. So 12 do fit on there. We need 93. And that's going to go this way around. And that's going to match it on this side. So it's got to go that way. So as it's 9 o'clock, probably just get the one exhaust done. Where are all these other 92s then? Ah, they're all around here. Okay. I'll tell you what, actually, let's just extend the stream a little bit longer and I'll get the other exhaust done. Then it's going to be a nice, easy stopping point. And you know I'm not going to be setting fire to it, so certainly not in this weather anyway. Right, so that one, we need 88. We need 87. Well, it never rains in Cornwall, does it? It's just liquid sunshine, isn't it, Chris? We've got 87 and 88 there, and then we need 89 as well. Did that come out earlier? Yes, it did. So ensuring that bit goes in there like that. It's been quite nice over the last few days. I've been able to have a beer in the garden. So not warm in the sunshine, but not overly so that you want to come back in, sort of thing. And now we've got a flood alert. Oh, you laugh at this, actually. We've got load of rain at the minute, a flood alert, and in my local area, luckily not affected, there are people, there was a burst water main, and there are people without water. So, yeah. All going on around here. Right, so we've got 94 and we need 95. So 94 is going to go on top of there. 95 is going to go on top of there. And then we need 12 of these 92s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Right, let's just put that on loosely back in there. And then same procedure as before, I'm just going to push those on to there like that. so glad I don't have to worry about changing tyres for different seasons and things. And all year round tyres are good enough for me. Although the amount of potholes around here, I keep thinking about getting some better wheels, or some scrappier wheels, I should say, really. That way, the potholes can damage those during the winter. I have nicer wheels for the summer ones. Yeah, I was fine. I think the system is still pressurizing at the minute, and there are still people without water, even now. And to be fair, not very far away from me, people were without water. And I'm in one of the affected postcodes, but yeah, I was fine. I think it might be because I'm down the bottom of a valley, so maybe that's the difference. All the water ran downhill. Right, so that's in there. We just need to put on these two parts of 93, which are here. And then we get them attached to the side of the car, and then that'll be it. That goes on there, and that one goes that way around. Like that. So now we can put these on the side of the car. Yeah, if I can work out which way is which. Right, so they're going to go into these two slots there. So get some wax on those, make it a little bit easier on myself. I go in there and just in there. Doing this model, I think one, I haven't had to burn it, which is good. But it still makes me want to do more. I think I do like these UGears models. Right, so that's the exhausts on there. And just so I can finish off this page, I'll get that piece, and then that'll be job done. So that's 96. So that's on sprue 3, it looks like. So sprue 3, and it's this big piece up here. And looks symmetrical. That's just going to go on the back of here. Like that. So let's wax up those tabs. And we get that in like so. Right, so there we are. I think that's looking a lot more car-like now. So we've got the rear axle in, we've got the cockpit in, we've got the engine at the front there. And I assume that's a little bit of boot space as well. So looking very, very good indeed. Still got at least probably almost 2/3 of the book to go. We're not quite halfway. But that is looking really, really good. And let's see whether this actually does something or not. I'm assuming we need to switch one of these. but I'll leave that for a minute. I think I'll break it before I've even finished it. So that's got to be in start, and that's got to go like unlock like that, and it doesn't do anything. That was anticlimactic. Might be that I've not wound it up enough, or it's jamming up. So might need to just free it up a little bit. Let's leave that open and see if we can free it up a little bit. There we go. It sort of worked. We shall see when it comes to the end of it. Right, so that is it for now. And I don't think there's anything for me to correct, which is brilliant. That was a much more successful stream than the last time I attempted this one. So very happy about that. Not sure what I'll do next week, whether I'll continue this or see if I get any more done on the Flying Scotsman. I've still got the Lego James Bond car sort of tugging away at the minute, so might even do that one as well, but might depend on what's happening next week. If I do get some more of the Flying Scotsman done during the week, then I'll probably do that next week as well. But I'll let you all know on my social media, and also when you see the live stream go up next week. So hopefully you can join me next week. And again, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and press the like button as well for this stream. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Cheers.